Hey guys! So I wanted to actually do a video entry this time, and I kind of wanted to have a conversation with everyone in regards to a specific topic. Actually, it's been weighing heavily on my mind as of late, and I kind of wanted to talk about it and see if anyone else happens to have felt the same way or going through a similar thing, but it kind of revolves around forgiveness. And I find myself in a position where even I struggle with this area and know that, in case you guys don't know, I am a woman of faith. I am a Christian. And I know that we are supposed to forgive others. Um, and I know that it's good to forgive people. And I've learned that it's not always, forgiving them isn't, really about them. It's really about you and kind of relinquishing that power that they have over you because you are really stuck in holding on to whatever that transgression was, whatever, the pain that was caused during that time period. Um, Honestly speaking, for me, the reason why it's just so difficult is, because when you go through that painful time in your life, it's hard, really, really, really hard to let go of it, make sense of it. And, you know, it's tough because without forgiving that person, you really realize that it has such an impact on your day-to-day life. Like for me, a situation can transpire, something could happen that can spark a memory, and it already puts you in a different mood. It can alter your mood. It can alter so many different things, even your interactions with people. And I don't want to have that happen anymore, to be honest with you. I really just want to be able to live my life and not allow those that have done wrong to me, have made me feel some type of way, tried to, break me down in any way, shape, or form, to have power over me to the point where if something happens and it triggers a memory, that it still has such an effect on me to where my interactions, whether it's to my children, to my husband, to other family, friends, whomever it is, that I'm changing who I am. You know, it says, no one is worth robbing you of your joy in life. And when you don't, have the ability to shed forgiveness, it's hard for you to move on from that situation. And when you think about those scenarios in life where abuse is involved, domestic violence, it's really tough because how do you forgive someone that, was doing that harm to you? As women, even men go through this because there's women that are just as violent as men. And you're in these situations, and at the time of it, going on in that cycle, you try really hard to hope for change to happen for the other person. And when it doesn't happen, you make the decision finally to get out of that situation. But as you get out, you're lacking the forgiveness piece. And that's where the complications come in, because that situation that you faced, whether it was a month ago, a week ago, a year ago, or, decades ago, it still lingers internally inside in our souls. And when the time is right, it resurfaces itself. We have to break those cycles, sever those things. And we have to remember that rather than them still winning over us because we're not allowing ourselves to really let go of that situation and really forgive them and, move on. You know, if that person needs to seek guidance, seek help, you know, we just need to let go and essentially just let God. Because what I've learned is we can't really do things in our own strength. We really do need to rely on God so much to help us, guide us, and lead us, and really gain that wisdom. So that way, that time period where we fell into that hole and we climbed out of it, to have the wisdom to know not to fall back into that same hole. Because life has lessons. Life has lessons, and we just have to learn. And for me, I remember going through certain trials and tribulations of my life, certain storms that I was facing. I never could understand the whys behind going through them, for the time period that I was going through them, why it was happening. Not understanding or feeling, really more feeling like I just felt loveless. I felt alone. I felt like, I really didn't have anyone on my side. I didn't have anyone to really understand what I was going through. I felt, in such a dark period of my life, it was really tough. And eventually, it got to that point where I had to do some serious soul searching, to the point where I broke down in the middle of the night. I was down on my knees. It was like maybe 1, close to 2 o'clock in the morning. And I just, in that very moment, just truly let go of everything, the pain, the heartache, everything in that aspects of the chapters of my life. And in that time frame, because obviously in our journeys we'll have constant chapters still, developing, still stuff that needs to unfold and unravel. But I will say that even when I did my soul searching and I let go and gave it to God, I felt so much lighter. I felt so much better. And then everything that was going in my mind wrong turned around for me. Now, if I fast forward to, where my life is today, I can tell you guys that I'm a lot stronger than with what I was. I recognize certain things because, I relate. I understand what that pain feels like. I understand that when you're going through certain storms, it's very difficult to really look at someone or think about someone when they are ruthless towards you, and then you think to yourself, I have to forgive that person. I'm supposed to forgive them when they're the ones that have done wrong to me. They're the ones that have spoken bad about me, but I'm supposed to forgive them? Really? Yes, really. We do. Because it's for us. It's for us because we know our stories, we know how we feel, we know our emotions, we know us. What we don't know is what issues or rooted things that are, embedded in the other person that's going on the attack. We don't know their story 100%. We just know the encounters and we know what they allow us to see. Similar to us, we may not always reveal our truth to just anyone. That's why people, are constantly learning new things about someone. You could be in a relationship for 10 years and still learning something brand new that you didn't know from the very beginning. And you'll have that conversation like, that happened? How am I just now finding out about this? We've been together for 10 years. How am I just finding this out? It could be one of those type of conversations. But regardless of which, forgiveness is so powerful for so many different reasons. And the reason why I chose to, kind of vlog this in essence is kind of more in the sense of it is a struggle. And I'm open to admitting that. I'm not someone that's perfect by any means. I still struggle with this because it's very difficult. But I do know that as I'm working on myself, working on realizing that all those people that have done something to me, that I don't want to continue giving them the power over me, because I'm choosing not to forgive them, not to let go of the inflicting pain or heartache or whatever emotion that comes to mind because of that person. It could be people, it could be multiple people. But at the end of the day, you just give it to God, because the best person that can really intervene and really handle things on our behalves is Him. And we'll end up getting back some of that joy in our lives so we can be present in the moments that are going on. Because sometimes when we're involved in situations, we could be with family, we could be with our children, and we're not completely 100% there because mentally speaking, we're just still thinking about what happened back then. We're not fully present in the moments because we're still harboring negative emotions because of something that happened. And that's why forgiveness is important, because it's for us, it's for you, the individual, so that you don't have to harbor negative emotions, so that you don't have to not be present in the moments when you're trying to be with loved ones or trying to you know, search for bettering yourself as a whole. It takes a lot of time. It does. And, every day we're going to work on ourselves. And that's fine because we're not perfect. We're not God ourselves. We're definitely not Jesus. We try to be as Christ like as possible. And that within itself is, a challenge, a daily challenge to try to, be how He was. Honestly, I don't know how Jesus did what He did and was able to kind of stay calm the whole time. I mean, if you've read certain stories in the Bible, you learn all the things that still happen today. People are cursing and yelling and saying false things about you, and speaking so negative about you as a person, like complete defamation of character. Not only that, but abuse of every kind. Jesus dealt with it all, you guys, all the time, and he remained calm through it all. And I know that that's a tall order for us to be able to even remotely mirror that very essence that He does. But we we have to try. We just have to try to put that effort in it. Not for anyone else, but for yourself, for you. I am really trying to really, self-love, self-reflect, and really do things more for me than trying to do things for other people, because I tried to do things for other people and it just didn't go far. It really didn't. And once I started realizing I needed to do things for me, that's when I started to see the change. That's when I started to see the difference in me and realizing that I'm making those steps in bettering myself, gaining that confidence, realizing the importance of certain things, certain values that, were taught to me, or people still trying to teach me. And now I'm starting to kind of come to that realization of what they're meaning, what they were saying. If you go to church, the very thing your pastors talk about when they kind of discuss forgiveness is, what I mean, like, you have to start with you. And once you start making the moves for you, then you start seeing this different outlook. It's like a whole new you. And you may even find yourself glowing out of nowhere. And if you're, what I mean, it doesn't mean that you have to be with trial to have the glow. You could just be so joyful about life and feeling really good because Nothing is going to get in the way of your happiness, your joy, the life that are living, and the love that you're wanting to share. And, you are just working towards conquering fears and conquering, certain things that you may have never thought that you could. And really realize that you're going to go very far. And you will. You absolutely will, because you're working on you. Change you first, and when you change you, then you can change the outcome to other people around you, because first it starts with you. It starts with you, it starts with me. And that's what I wanted to share with you guys. So if you happen to be dealing with the struggles of forgiveness, I get it. I absolutely get it. And if there's any story that you want to share, or drop a comment, um, of a situation that maybe you were able to overcome because you were able to really dig deep and forgive someone that inflicted whatever it is that they did at that time, and now you're in a better place, better mentally, better physically, emotionally, spiritually. I mean, it's just a better you. Please share that also when you get an opportunity, because I really want you know my blog for Mercy Through Healing to really be a community to where we can get together and share stories, because sometimes it can take a village to try to build something of substance, to build something that's good, you know and I want to have outlets of positivity, so we can have more of that than all the negative that we constantly read about, see videos about, the news, whatever outlet it is that we kind of tune into, and utilize this as a platform to grow and encourage one another, motivate one another, and build each other up versus tearing each other down. There's been plenty of that going around, so let's take this time to really build that foundation and trying to better our community, and be there for each other in a positive outlook, regardless of what we look like, where we're from, and just be you, and welcoming and loving. I hope you guys have a great and blessed day. Hope to hear from you soon. Bye.